Yo, what is up YouTube? I'm Joe of Sports, and today we are back again with another video. The Premier League has finally arrived, and a full week of games has come and gone, and I'd just like to take a moment to talk about some of the best moments and some of the best games that we caught up to this weekend. So, the first game of the season, Friday night, defending champs Man City, led by the unstoppable duo of midfielder Kevin De Bruyne and striker Erling Haaland, took on one of their former players, Vincent Kompany, who's now managing the newly promoted club Burnley. And Burnley really looked like they knew what they were doing for the first 30 minutes of the match, parring this extremely early goal by Haaland that honestly wasn't really their fault. Well defended ball to the back post, Rodri sends it in, Haaland scores. Typical stuff. But it really did look like Man City was struggling to stay consistent with that midfield attacking ball dominant style that they usually use. And this is mainly due to Kevin De Bruyne's injury, which has been recurring for some time, and it's really a killer, as he's probably the best midfielder in the world. Haaland did his thing, scoring another freaking banger, top left, bar down, to make it 2-0 later in the first half. And Phil Foden replacing De Bruyne did give City some energy off the bench, but honestly, despite the fact that they did win 3-0 with a Rodri goal late in the second half, making it that third one on the board, they didn't really look all that organized and all that special. Obviously, we know they're Man City, they're the defending champs, the defending Champions League champs. They're the best, but honestly, kind of a mediocre performance for their standards. And Pep Guardiola, their manager, he knows that. He'll have them working next week even harder to get back to that championship form. Next, we have Tottenham at home. New manager, new players facing off against Brentford, who are always a scary team to face. Being away at a Brentford game early in the season is really awful, as we've seen last season when Man City were absolutely decimated by them in a 4-0 embarrassing defeat. More on Man United later. That was pretty awful, though. So, Tottenham-Brentford, Harry Kane gone, Richarlison in for Spurs. And initially they looked great, dominating the possession, netting a very early goal, Maddison whipping in a set piece to Romero to make it 1-0 in the 10th minute. But then, the usual Tottenham, poor defending on the outside and centrally due to both a little bit of bad luck and poor actual execution by Emerson Royal, the right back, and Van de Ven, the center back, giving up a penalty and an unfortunate deflection in 10 minutes, 2 goals in 10 minutes to make it 2-1 to Brentford. But Royal made up for his mistake with a heater into the bottom left corner from long range at the end of the first half. 2-2. Tight game, well played by both teams, but both will be looking to do better. That afternoon, Chelsea at home against Liverpool, arguably biggest matchup of the first week. And both teams looked a little sloppy. Obviously, first week of the season, Chelsea's figuring out how to play with their new acquisitions, so are Liverpool. But I would say Liverpool should have ran away with this one. They were up 1-0 early after a brilliant team goal. New acquisition, McAllister finding Salah, then finding Diaz to make it 1-0 in the 17th minute. But then they had a second goal with Salah that was ruled offside. And after that, they honestly kind of seemed to struggle to hold their midfield dominance. Chelsea got more possession. Chelsea found a way to score on a set piece from the center back. And honestly, both teams should be happy that it was a 1-1 draw. Final game of the week was just a few hours ago. Man United squaring off against Wolves. And Wolves were clearly the better team today. Dominated possession, really scaring Man United through the middle with their midfield attacking play. Great balls over the top. They just couldn't finish the ball into the net. They just couldn't get that final touch, and that's ultimately what cost them. Man United were able to salvage this game with a great set piece. Wan-Bissaka, the right back, crossing it inside to the center back, Varane, who finished it with his head in the 75th minute. And United, despite playing rather poorly, were able to claim the win. Those are some of my highlights from this first week of Premier League games, and I'm excited for the rest of this season to come. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed.